Hey, it's the Shiny Scrubs coming at you with the deck profile. This time we're going to be doing the Paleozoic Frog deck. This is actually the deck I'm going to be taking to the Columbus Regionals, the 28th. I just think it's a really consistent and a really good deck to be playing right now in this format, just because, like, there's a lot of back row 8, but most of the time just being able to set 5 is something that's actually just difficult to deal with, plus the amount of stun potential you have with Toadally Awesome is just ridiculous. So we'll get right into it. You play 3 swap, 3 dupe. I'll move this down because of the glare. And then you play the 2 toad. You play 2 toad. You could play 3, but I prefer 2 right now. I haven't ever actually play tested the 3rd yet, but it doesn't seem like it's a problem without it. Like, even if you hit 1 off the Pot of Desires, being able, like, you can still just have 1 to pop back and forth. Plus, one of the Paleozoics can actually return face-down banish cards, so that's always just really good to have. But yeah, that's just your main engine of the deck. Swap Frog allows you to dump from deck, Dupe lets you search, and Rodent's your specialer. And if you have 2 Dupe Frogs on board, it actually sets up a pretty good lock that your opponent can't target any monsters for attack, because they both say they can be the only monster targeted for an attack. So that's really good. The only other 2 monsters you play are 2 Maxxes. They're level 2, so when forced, you can actually make a rank 2 play. And just being able to drop it, going second, or even going first, you can just keep it in your hand, and when they start to go, you can just drop it and be able to get a lot of hand advantage for your discard outlets. The 3 spells you play, 2 Desires and a Raigeki. You can play 3, I prefer 2. I prefer 2 in everything, though. I don't see a considerable difference between me not having it at 3 and not finding it, and me having it 2 and not finding it. But when I play 3, I draw into 2 of them every time. So I've just cut it down to 2, and it seems like it's been working a lot better for me. And Raigeki, it's Raigeki. Now we move into the Battle Interrupt. I play the 2 Quaking Mirrorforce just because you can actually get over just about anything that's set through, like, the blue Paleozoic. And just, like, Toad, just being able to beat over anything that you set is pretty efficient. You play the 3 Waboku because activate it, chain your Paleozoic, and when this resolves, it protects it. The 3 Threatening Roar because pretty much the exact same thing. And being able to stop 6 battle phases is nice. You play 1 Marrella, 1 Leanchoilia. This one I actually just found out that you can take face-down banished cards through Pot of Desires and actually return them to the grave, which is really nice when you hit, like, one of your Ronintoadins, because it can set up just really nice plays. And Marrella, it's really good to find early game. You never want to play more than 1, or I don't, because late game it's just more dead, and honestly I use this as discard outlet for Pikaia more than anything. Next we move into the 3 ofs. You play 3 Canadia, Book of Moon. You play 3 Dino, it's Banish. The discard's not a cost, which sometimes you actually would want it to be. So you could activate it, discard cost, chain another, and be able to get our special summon. But it's not, but it still works, and it actually works against Darklaw because you can activate, target Darklaw, banish him in the discard, and they both go to graveyard. You play 3 MST, solid. 3 Pikaia. Discard a Paleozoic, draw 2. Lets you get a lot of advantage on the end step, and allows you to put a bunch of guys on board just for free. And your opponent doesn't have to have anything for you to activate this one. That's all for all the Paleozoics I play. Next we'll move on to just the stun cards. You play 2 Anti-Spell. It's Anti-Spell, it's too good. You play 3 spell cards and you're going to rip them out of your hand immediately. 2 Dimension Barrier. Best card in the game right now. It just shuts down literally everything but Dark Magician and, like, barrier statues, but I think everybody stopped playing those by now, I hope. I hated seeing them. The 2 strikes, a warning, and a vanities. Staples to stop anything. If you're playing trap cards, you're going to play these. I don't like 3 strikes. I think 2 is just fine. Move on to the extra deck now. We got 1 Stardust Dragon. In the side, I play the Starlight Road, so I just didn't want to have to side it in. 2 of the blue. He's takes 3. If he has a trap, you can just pop a card during each player's turn by detaching one. And he allows you free pluses every time a trap sent from field to grave on your side of the field. Prophet, he's just really good. Like, he can keep an effect negation on. So, I was playing against Mermail one time at Locals. I summoned him and targeted Neptabyss, and I was able to actually keep him locked down so he couldn't activate or resolve Neptabyss effect. And it actually worked out really well in my favor. 3 Toadally Awesome. You don't need 3, I guess, but it worked well for me. I've actually had times where I could have went into 2, and there was some times when I'd would be able to go into the 3rd. It's just never actually like the proper play. But the 3rd's always nice to have just in case something happens. I actually had somebody resolve Zimborg the Mega Monarch against me, so I just sent the 3 Toads and just immediately added them back. The 1 Sky Cavalry Centaurea gets rid of like Chaos Maxx and other problem monsters. Diagusto Phoenix. Pull it off with Catshark, and you can swing directly for 6k. Just because detach target him, he can attack twice and make him 3k, so you can hit him for 6. And at that, you play 2 Catsharks. Double the attack of one of your XEs. Just really solid. One of the MVPs of the deck is Opabinia. It lets you activate your Paleozoics from hand, and if you have a trap on it as a material, you can detach one and search, which is just so strong. So you immediately, like, most of the time your first play, if not totally awesome, is to go into this, search out your advantage, and just be able to play off of that. And the last card I play, Utopic Future. I actually came into this today. I wanted to be able to make a larger board, so I threw out just 2 rank 2s with just a bunch of frogs under them. Overlaid those for Utopic Future. The frogs went to grave, and I summoned Toad and was able to actually swing for game. So he's actually just really strong, and he gets over like Chaos Maxx and a bunch of other different problem monsters. Now we'll move on to the side. It's not actually complete, and it's actually completely up to you what you would want to side. But I played 2 Shadow Imprisoning. I hate to play it against heroes. I had these against the PK Fire matchup, got Twin Twistered, so it didn't really help. The 2 Starlight Road, I actually left these at home. I would have loved to have had them. It's just really good because people are going to side their Twin Twisters, and all 3 of them, and on game 2. So you side this in, and when you open up with it, it just gives you a protection. And then plus, after you resolve this, you get your Stardust Dragon, which then gives you another protection from a destruction. And he's at 25, which isn't bad. Next, play the 3 Twin Twisters. It's too solid not to play. Against the Mirror and against any other deck that plays traps, just like Solemn Strike isn't actually that big of an issue because you can just add back with your Toad and usually resolve to summon another. But it's better just to not deal with it. Acquisitiveness for ABC, System Bound for ABC, Gameciels for everything that's a problem. The side deck's completely up to you though. That's just what I was playing now. I'm going to have it changed before regionals, but this is the build I'm going to be playing at regionals. This is Rabbit from the Shiny Scrubs, and I'll be signing out.